With Borderlands 4 coming out in 2025, boys, I'm sure we can all agree there is 5 things that it needs, and I've compiled my list into this video so that we can all talk about it together. Now granted, I'm sure I'm going to miss some things, but if you want a part 2 for this video, leave a like on it and I'll see what I can do. And without a doubt, let's get right into it with number 5. What I think Borderlands 4 absolutely needs and cannot miss is, without a doubt, a dialogue skipping feature. We do not know how long this game is going to run for currently, and this is a very big deal for a lot of players. Borderlands is a game which, newsflash, isn't all about story. It's about replayability, endgame, and the cool and unique builds you can make, and of course the loot. But boys, nothing is worse than doing a new playthrough of Borderlands 3 for the 4th or 5th time, and then trying to get through that game and having to listen to 4 hours plus, maybe 10 hours plus of dialogue in between missions. It is hell, and I'll tell you, especially as being a content creator and streaming the game, it is an absolute viewer killer having to sit there and AFK while dialogue plays on and on that everybody has heard 20 times. It gets so incredibly boring. We've seen what mods can do with a dialogue skip, and we've seen how well it fits into Borderlands, so the only question now is, are they going to do it and add it in Borderlands 4? I really hope they do, because if they don't, man, I think we're going to have a problem with this game. Now, I will say, does it need to be there on the first playthrough? No, and honestly, I don't think it should be. I think making people experience the game for the first time is totally fine and fair. However, anything past that I would love to see, or one better, it would be cool if, like with the recent feature they added in Borderlands 3, what if you beat the game and then you get the option to make an endgame character? That would be pretty cool as well, but I'll settle for a dialogue skip in the meantime. Alright, so that's number 5, and boys, we're getting into number 4 now, and this is going to be DLC Vault Hunters. This, in my opinion, is where BL3 went criminally wrong. We've heard the argument from Randy Pitchford many times in the past that not enough people played the Borderlands 2 DLC Vault Hunters, and everybody knows that is horse crap. That is such a bold-faced lie. If that's not a lie, then Jesus, I'm built like Krieg. Because are you kidding me? You're telling me that the 2 Vault Hunters that you literally have DLC centered around in Borderlands 3 weren't played enough for your liking? Brother, we are playing 2 different games if that's how you feel. I can absolutely say without a doubt that if Borderlands 3 had DLC Vault Hunters, many people would have came back to the game and many people would have played it longer than they did. Adding the 4th skill tree in just felt like a really bad option in the grand scheme of things, and in the case of Flack's purple tree, it didn't even function and was never fixed. Just straight up never fixed. So please, if there is anything we can get in Borderlands 4, I would love to get at least one DLC Vault Hunter. Something that plays different, something that feels different, something that gives people a reason to go through the game again and experience it all over again with a brand new set of eyes. Right now, one of the things I'm working on for Borderlands 3 is a playable Mordecai mod, and everybody's going crazy over it on Twitter. They're all super excited for it. Just imagine if that was official and if everybody could play that. I am sure there is nothing more people would like right now, not even just in Borderlands 4 but in Borderlands 3, than a new playable Vault Hunter. Please add it in Borderlands 4. And now let's get into number 3. For number 3, this is one which is, for me, inarguable. There is just no wiggle room here. It needs to happen. Better optimization. Good lord. Let me tell you, I would probably still be playing Borderlands 3 actively every single day to this date if it just ran better. The constant micro-hitching and low frame rate in areas and crashing, not to mention the crashing, is just absolutely awful. There are so many things in Borderlands 3 which contribute to this, and it is just an absolute ball ache every time you come across it. Not to mention the memory leak, which again, somehow, still not fixed to this day. Same with the BL1 remaster, still not fixed to this day. The memory leak needs to be fixed before we go to Borderlands 4. This is just something which, again, for me, we cannot argue this point. It has to be in this game at launch. We need good optimization, especially if it's going to be on UE5 and especially if it's going to have ray tracing. But boys, that's my number 3 spot. Now, let's all move into number 2, and this is one which I'm sure everybody is going to agree on because we've seen it tried and tested many times, especially in the Redux mod, especially in other mods for other games. This is a new rarity, a new endgame rarity. We need to see some kind of new endgame rarity in Borderlands 4. The time for talking is over. The rumors are that this will not be on last gen, so the memory limit argument doesn't need to apply anymore, but we don't need to do that. We need a new endgame rarity, whether or not that's Pearlescence, Seraphs, Effervescence. It can be anything. It could be glitch rarity. We need a new endgame rarity above legendary. It's getting stale, and if we go into Borderlands 4, if we're in Borderlands 4 and there is still no new rarity at endgame, what are we doing at this point? Enough is enough. It is time to finally add a little more meat on the bones of endgame and give people something to chase. That is ultimately what people are asking for. They want a piece of loot to feel good about. They want an exotic in Destiny. That is why people love the idea of pearls, seraphs, effervescence, and ultimately, if they're not in the game at this point, then this video might be a little too late. But Gearbox, if you're watching, we need endgame rarities. You came so close in Wonderlands and it just wasn't right. They weren't rarities, and they absolutely weren't balanced how they should have been if they were a new rarity. So please, Borderlands 4, it is now or never. Pearls have to return. Seraphs have to return. Give me something, but don't give me nothing. And now finally, coming in at the number 1 spot, by the way, hit like on the video if you're still here, and make sure you put that bell on if you are subbed so you get the notifications every time I post. Alright, here we go. Number 1, we just had number 2, it is number 1 now. The number 1 thing that Borderlands 4 needs at launch, this one is make or break for the game. And ladies and gentlemen, it's dedicated drops. If Borderlands 4 does not have dedicated drops, it might be DOA. We might lose 50% of that player base on day 1. Of course, I'm just exaggerating here, but seriously, if you were there for Borderlands 3 and the no dedicated drama there, if you were there for Wonderlands and the whole loot luck fiasco, you will know how much damage no dedicated drops does to Borderlands. It is a fundamental aspect of the game. Farming gear is something that everybody who is experienced in the game knows about. It is like the first little baby steps you take after finally playing Borderlands for the first time. You realize, oh, this enemy respawns and he just dropped a gun. I wonder if he'll always drop that gun if I keep farming him. And this is a feature which is one of the key aspects. It is strikes to Destiny. Dedicated drops in Borderlands are strikes to Destiny, okay? They are Wumpa Fruit to Crash Bandicoot. They are gems and egg thieves to Spyro. This is an aspect of Borderlands which cannot be removed. It needs to be there on day 1. There needs to be good balancing on the rates. There needs to be some form of scaling at endgame. This is ultimately what we need to see, boys. It has to be there. Again, a lot of the stuff on this list is something which I am not budging on. It has to be present in Borderlands 4. We need dedicated drops or it is Jova. But boys, that's going to do it for my list. That's 5 things I think we need in Borderlands 4. Give me your top 5 in the comment section down below. I will pin the best one in the top of the comment section. You'll be very, very famous and get attacked for being a shill. Please give me your top 5 list in the comment section down below and I will pick the best one. Gamers, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on it and be sure to sub to the channel for more content, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications when I post. And also follow me on Twitter at EpicNNG and on Twitch too. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll check you all in the next one. Take it easy, and if you're here at the end, please tickle my taint.